Hey everybody, it's Mr. Raise the Screen Roamer here, bringing you social studies. Okay, module 4, lesson 7. So check out the title of this one, The War Ends. All right, so the Revolutionary War is going to end in this section, and here we can see General Washington and the troops coming in. So the fight took many years, guys. It wasn't just a short battle and done. Okay, it was multiple battles. It was a war. Okay, it could have continued longer, but something brought an end to the war. Okay, so what we're going to be looking at here are a lot of different things about how the war ended and why the war ended. And we're going to identify foreign allies, okay, foreign countries that aided us or aided the colonists to get their independence. Okay, identify factors leading to the end of the Revolutionary War. Okay. Explain how foreign allies impacted the Revolutionary War. So a lot of things are looking at how did foreign countries help end the war. Okay, identify some major battles and campaigns of the Revolutionary War. Okay, major battles and campaigns again right here. So we have identify and describe. So slightly different. You can name them, but then you tell what happened at them as well. So a little bit different when you're talking about describe. And then also compare the major battles and campaigns. Okay, so we have identify, describe, compare, and then explain the impact of military factors on the end of the Revolutionary War. Here's another one, the impact of political factors, and then the impact of economic factors. So we've got three different, excuse my dog there. Okay, we've got military, political, and economic factors. All right. Hopefully my dog will be quiet. All right, here we go. So the end is near. So during this revolutionary period, the communication methods were different than today. So to get something from one place to another, the troops may have surrendered in one area, but battle continued in another, here it says. So here is a video about some of the factors, but we're just going to look at factors that really decide if a war is going to be won or lost. And one of them is a political factor. Okay, so this might include foreign countries, like your foreign allegiances. Allegiance is just that, hey, we're going to help you, you help us. Okay, so it's a mutual understanding. Okay, so they help each other, and sometimes one side has stronger or more supportive allies. So in this case, we had allies in the French, okay, and they were pretty strong, and they could help us out a lot. Okay, the second one is economic, and economic deals with money. Okay, do you have money to buy things like equipment, weapons, food, uniforms, and pay? Okay, so if you can't do that, how are you going to fund the war? Okay, now remember, England had just fought in a war. They didn't have a lot of money. Okay, so they didn't have this economic factors as well as the United States or as far as the colonists. Okay, and then they also had the political backing of France, and they gave them money as well. Okay, there's other things in economics that we'll talk about. And then military. Okay, so what are some military factors? Okay, who is the leaders? Who are the generals? Who is the leadership? Okay, who's keeping up the morale or the well-being of the troops? Okay, that's a big one right here. You know, if your troops are giving up, lost hope, they're not going to fight. But if you have good leaders that can inspire them and push them forward onto new things, okay? So who had better trained and equipped military? Those are the things we're going to be looking at right here. Okay, so right here, some political factors. Okay, so look at here, we had three different allies. Okay, France, Spain, and the Netherlands. Okay, so three different countries came to the aid of the United States during the Revolutionary War. So it's kind of like, hey, we had some friends watching our back here, right? Now, think about it. Great Britain had become a major power in the world. Okay, and then these allies didn't like that. Okay, they didn't like that. So it's kind of like, hey, England got to be so big. Great Britain got to be so powerful. Now you got France and Spain and the Netherlands going, we don't like that. Okay, so we're going to support you to take the bigger country, more powerful country down. Okay, they lost some things during the 7 Years' War. So a trading partnership with the United States would be good. Okay, so take a look here. France was the Patriots' main political ally. So right here, we've got French supplies. Okay, 1775, they started secretly sending supplies to the Continental Army. Okay, now right here, you've got this young officer. Okay, he arrives in America, a French officer, and he joins the Continental Army. And he's the aide to Washington himself. So now you have actually a French troop, okay, a French soldier joining the Continental Army. Okay, all along here now we've got this right here in 1778, February. Okay, we've got a Continental Army in the Battle of Saratoga. Now they have a treaty, an alliance, where they officially become an ally or a friend, a partner. France becomes a partner with us in our fight. Okay, now this young officer returns to France. Okay, and he gets more. He talks to all the leaders over there, and now the King Louis, the 16th, sends thousands of troops to help the Patriots. So this young officer came over, worked with Washington, worked with the troops, went back to his home country, and said, "Hey, we need some more help," and he got it. Okay, so pretty interesting. Okay, now Lafayette, that young officer, returns. Okay, and he actually participated in some of the final battles. So young officer joins, gets support from our allies, the French. Then he returns a hero. And now, right here, the French also send some Navy ships to help the Patriots. Okay, and this is big right here. In September 1781, okay, they actually fight head-to-head against the Royal Navy. Okay, so this is in Yorktown, and the French hold back the British, okay, in Yorktown, and that ends the Revolutionary War with some other things as well, but that's a major factor. Okay, so let's take a look what's happening here. So we have the French coming in. Now we've got some military factors too. Okay, so we're looking at leaders. So we've got a gentleman by the name here, General Nathaniel Greene. Okay, so Greene, he was put in charge of the army towards the south, and he was a good leader. Okay, and they continued to chase Greene and his troops, but they were losing more and more soldiers, and Greene's army got stronger and stronger. Okay, and then that was one of the turning points, is that we had a better leader in Greene. Okay, another leader that we had, y'all are familiar with, is General George Washington. Okay, so he had already been an officer, the French and Indian Wars. Okay, and he was the leader of the Continental Army. Okay, so now he becomes commander-in-chief of the whole army. Okay, he's very good with discipline. The loyalty, and he keeps his troops together in difficult times. He was very inspiring. Okay, and then you can see him right here. Okay, he recognized the abilities of Lafayette and Baron von Steuben. Okay, so he developed friendships with these men, and then they could help each other. Okay, so they were allies from different countries, and Washington was not only a good leader with his troops, but he was also a good leader because he got along with foreign allies as well. Okay, that helps to have friends. Now, right here, you can see they're talking about smallpox. So smallpox was a disease, and it was killing off many people. Okay, and Washington ordered an inoculation, so like a vaccine, and that saved many of his troops from getting dying or getting that illness. So that's called leadership. Okay, he took that upon himself. Okay, and now Washington was very good at recognizing battle plans. Okay, so right here you can see that he asked the French Navy to block the British access to the Chesapeake Bay. So he's got a whole plan right here. Here's the incoming people, and he's got a whole plan drawn out. And that comes with experience. Okay, So right here, you can talk about what do you think makes a strong leader? What can we learn from Greene and Washington? We can learn many things because they have experienced them. Okay, that's what leadership is. Okay, let's take a look at here. Now we got some economic factors, so money. Okay, so maybe, you need equipment. Okay, you need gunpowder. You need things like that, horses. You also need uniforms. Okay, so you can see that we did have some colonial contributions. In fact, the women of Pennsylvania raised $300,000. That's a large, large, large sum of money. Okay, and then they could make clothing as well. Okay, and allied contributions. So the French, who are our big ally, okay, they supplied Congress with soldiers, supplies, and ships. Spain, okay, they also were involved, and they gave supplies, and they led battles with the British in the West. Okay, and then Netherlands provided Congress with loans. So, in some cases, they actually supplied, they gave the supplies and the ships and fought in the battles. In other ones, like the Netherlands, they gave more money, loans as a resource. Now, the British resources right here, they're kind of falling apart. Okay, they were in debt. Look at right here. They were in debt from the 7 Years' War. Okay, so that was a war that took place before this. And then they were also couldn't get their supplies to their people. Okay, so that's a big thing. If you don't have gunpowder, you can't fight. Okay. And now here, the final siege. Okay, siege would mean battle. Okay. In this case, you can see right here, this is General Cornwallis. Okay, and he was the British commander. Now, he moved his troops up to Yorktown. And when General Washington saw that, he was like, aha, I got you now. Okay, so he knew he had him. Cornwallis had made a big mistake. So Cornwallis went into Yorktown. Okay, and, oh, you know what? I think I got to go back here. Sorry. Okay, Cornwallis went into Yorktown. Look at here, everybody. Now, Washington, he's a planner. He planned. He figured he's in Yorktown. Now we got him trapped. Okay, and what he planned was this. Right out here, he put the French Navy. So the French Navy, once again, blocked this. It kind of looks like that other map that we saw when they blocked the Chesapeake Bay. Now they're going to block right here. Okay, so actually this is the block in the Chesapeake Bay. I was like, it looks very similar because that's what it was. Okay, and now you got the French Navy coming in. So the French Navy was bringing supplies to the troops that are over here. Now they can't get through this. Okay, so they held them off. Okay, and then you've got British troops, okay, and allies fighting here, and these guys are dying. Okay, they're using up their supplies. They need food, water, gunpowder, ammunition, things like that, and it's all out here. So now he's got them trapped. Okay, so after a while, what happens? Okay, the French and the British navies fight. Okay, the French hold them back. Okay, we've got the British troops coming in here. The siege of Yorktown began on September 28, 1781. And get this, there were 17,000 soldiers in the Continental and French troops that came into Yorktown. 17,000. That's a lot. Okay? And then Cornwallis surrenders on October 19th. Okay, let's look back at that past date. So this was the beginning of the battle, September 28th. So then we're looking at September, October. So we're looking at about 3 weeks. Okay, it took 3 weeks to hold them off. So they probably ran out of supplies. Okay, people were getting killed. And Cornwallis said, that's enough. Done. Okay. Now, you got a Treaty of Paris. So what happens is the England, so Britain, got together with the representatives who were these three gentlemen right here, John Adams, Ben Franklin, and John Jay. And they met in Paris in April 1782. Okay, they probably met in Paris because it's not one of the countries, and then they negotiated a treaty. Okay, and it was the Treaty of Paris. Okay, so you can see these three gentlemen right here. Here is the actual document. So this is a primary source. You can see the Treaty of Paris, and then you can see the representatives from the United States and their signatures. Okay, so slide 8 is going to be going over lesson summary. Okay, and we talked about a lot of these things, not straightforward, I hope so. Okay, our allies, factors leading to the end of the revolution, military battles, okay, like Yorktown, okay, economic, so military factors, leadership, political factors, okay, and then economic factors. So political factors really you have the support of the politicians and the people. Okay, so you can go ahead and do this self-check right down here. And then on slide 9, it tells you to go ahead and do this assignment. Now this assignment looks like this. Okay, it's just a paper and pencil. You can write on it and you can go ahead and do it that way. Or you can go ahead and use this link, and I created a document, and you can type everything on this document and then submit it through the Google sharing feature. Okay, don't share it into the email, copy the link, and then upload it to Schoology. Okay, guys, end of the Revolutionary War, Treaty of Paris. I hope you learned something there. Until next time, okay, do well, raise the screen, take care, everybody.